Welcome to another episode of Not for the Weak-Minded. This episode is about technologies and yourself and what you can see in this image and how those two topics relate to each other. Now, in other videos I have showed you sun simulator patents and other things, like one, for example, being built in Germany. It's not a joke, and what you see with your eyes in this image proves it. Now you'll see in the middle of the screen, I'm leaning, that there is a rainbow being emitted, kneeling that way, from the white sun. And essentially you need to know that in order to create the white light, they use the colours of the rainbow together as one. This is essentially to do with knowledge of creation and yourself, and in essence, because space is water, and your chakras relate to frequency devices, and so each of chakra has a pitch or a sound, and in water that creates light. And so this principle is called sonoluminescence, and essentially you are made of water, and this is why you need to understand that space is water too, and the principles of as above so below, because we are essentially stars, and you need to know that, because a lot of the icons around you, or the star, is everywhere. The rainbow today is everywhere, as I've done in other videos. The reason for that is because it's secret knowledge that you're not initiated into, by that the elite teach each other, and keeping the bloodlines, the family that rule us today, that don't want you to know these truths. They'd rather you be a sheep and carry on working towards our civilization's self-destruction. Now that is obviously why I'm doing this video, because a lot of people think that global warming is real. In terms of the Earth being a globe, no, the Earth is not a globe. In fact, the globe Earth model proves that they have lied, and that everything works because they've mapped the Earth using the perfect circle. And today, artificial intelligence, chemtrails, and programming and algorithms are working away above our heads and at you. They are getting to know you personally, to the point where the same things that are happening in China are coming here. Anyway, I'm switching subjects because this has to do with the sun, Lucifer, worship, and their plan, which essentially has taken centuries to fulfill, which would never have happened if we actually used our eyes and realized that they've been lying to us this whole time. However, to understand how that has happened, you must understand again yourself, and that hypnotherapy is the power of suggestion, and that every single thing we learned at school is based on a false principle. This picture proves it. It is the white sun simulator in low Earth orbit, which is a piece of technology that proves that the sun is not a ball of gas. It proves that the sun is local to our field of view, and that they have lied to you about the Earth. In fact, the Earth is flat in areas, and in all intents and purposes, the flat earthers are absolutely right. It's not a globe. But also, they have to bear in mind that the Fibonacci sequence and this levels. So there is levels to this Earth, and I aim to prove that with my drawings. Now I haven't had time to do my other blueprint, which I started because I've been doing other things. I've been trying to set up ways to make money so I can absolutely tell you the truth, which is what I'm trying to do now. So the rainbow is truth and deception. In order to create white light in yourself, you must know the knowledge of the rainbow, essentially, and why today they are emulating the technological creation. So I have done a series, and my dissertation was based on this, which failed at the university, even though there was over 260 references, because, well, partially, they didn't want to hear the truth. Their egos get in the way, and that the education system is a military, corporate education system of lies and deceit. Just like the television is lying to you every day with the media, and yet inadvertently showing you their intentions through movies, through, the television programs. And so the things I say, a lot of people go, oh, that sounds like this, or oh, that sounds like that. Oh, you've been watching Black Mirror. That type of thing. In all intents and purposes, I am aware of their devices, which is what it says in the Bible. I'm not religious. I do not go to any church, or am not associated with any denomination. I am just unique and who I am. I have put a lot of hard work and determination to find the truth, and today I am trying to show you it, essentially with this image, and make you understand that today we have two suns in low Earth orbit, that the millionaires are the cause of global warming, and that they, Bill Gates and others, plan to literally destroy the Earth while emulating the technological creation. In terms of weather, they are literally in control of it. They have the power to create, great problems for all nations. And today, all nations walk amongst each other, not really knowing they have a common enemy, who have done all these things, lying to them, abusing them, manipulating them, to the point where we are self-destruction, as a civilization. Unfortunately, I've studied a lot of things to do with ancient history, and a lot of the things that happened in the past are coming true again. And this has everything to do with your perception of reality. Everything. So the rainbow is the evidence that there is a sun in low Earth orbit, and that today, because the seasons used to be like clockwork, and you ask old ladies that the seasons when they were doing gardenings was perfect, time in, time out. And so the cycles have been messed with, and that has to do with frequencies like machines like HARP and others, to the chemtrails and you're all infected, of course, which is another thing I've been trying to say to people, that unfortunately you've been breathing in barium and aluminium and nanosmart dust, and this is all part of a technological plan to control you and to do serious damage to you when things get rolled out, which a lot of people don't really understand, that technologies today are designed by corporate evil bankers that have no self-interest in humanity's self-preservation. As you can see, they're messing with the seasons, and now they have a high UV sun in low Earth orbit to change the seasons, to manipulate the seasons, to make it, well, in all intents and purposes this year, to make the leaves fall off the trees in the summer and to continually blacken out the skies during winter and other things. It's a global, in terms of the elite, as in, all nations are now corrupted pretty much by the same people. And that is something where you have to understand about time and history and the Templars and Freemasons today, and why they are part of something much bigger, which has taken centuries to build, that a lot of them don't even know themselves that they've been part of. You know, the people at the bottom of the triangle are unaware themselves that they've been manipulated. The police, the military, the teachers, you know. So let's talk about what's going to happen when this continues. There's going to be food shortages. There's going to be issues with growing crops, and essentially this is going to cause famine. You're not thinking long term if you haven't, you know, and it's all deliberate. A lot of you don't understand that Brexit is a distraction today in Britain, for example, because they are implementing the United Nations doctrine, and they went to Brussels with no deal, and they still got nothing. They're not going to have anything because it's just distraction, just like Extinction Rebellion. While they continually operate in the shadows, and a lot of people, you know, like I said, that have been manipulated, and so Brexit was never really about Britain becoming self-sufficient. And the reason why I say that is because you've got to know that every one of you is dependent upon these companies, which has made you lazy, has made you what's the word? Dependent. You know, we're all independent upon the same people that run the world. And they control us now. They control the food industries, the water. They have no rights to the land and the water, but you know, we gave them the rights, and we still give them the rights when we're the ones with the rights, every one of us. And it's that you've got to understand too, that in order to be free, you've literally got to free your mind from their bondage and work towards changing civilization towards the better. And understand that, you know, these corporations control you. That everyone wants Brexit to have, you know, 50% to be self-sufficient, when those 50% don't even know, like, the solutions to be self-sufficient without being dependent upon those companies. The same ones that are poisoning us and making us sick and degrading our society through the food industries, which is only getting worse and worse and worse as we approach more and more disturbing things like cannibalism and stuff like that. You know, the rise of witchcraft and the rise of witches, and the rise of Satanism all around us. And most of you don't even believe in Satan, and yet I guarantee your morals are more on that side than you could ever imagine, because you're not thinking right. So, for example, morally speaking, we should not be teaching LGBT in the primary schools in this country, and yet that is a United Nations doctrine, not our country's doctrine. That's the United Nations doctrine that is about introducing Babylonian laws. And if you understand the ancient history, you will know that this will create an androgynous society and, well, the end of our civilization as we know it. These billionaires want to kill the planet, the Earth, the created Earth. I keep saying it, but that's the programming. They want to literally, Elon Musk, right? This is the last thing I'm saying before I'm going. Elon Musk, literally, with all his other parties, are building a hadron collider 3 times the size of CERN, and then and it's connected to Denver Airport. All the booms you hear from underground That's what they're doing. They're building a particle accelerator 3 times the size, and that is all their ideologies of what a wormhole is, and what a wormhole can do is destroy a world. Literally destroy this frequency-based reality in which we live in completely. Now, the gods are not going to allow that to happen, and we shouldn't either. We should, in all intents and purposes, try and get the police and the military on the people's side and shut down everything they're doing. The 5G devices, the frequency devices that are going around in the guise of science, you know, the CERN, or the particle accelerators going on at the same time, which is designed to lower the frequency of this Earth. The reason why that is because this is a physical prison too, and that there's trapped spirits here, and they were in the underworld. Now, because they've lied to you about everything about this world, this frequency-based reality, they're using that knowledge to literally bring them into our world. And I have other videos to show you that I have that can show you the demon alien faces. Now, this connects to the ancient past, and when you look at the geological landscape, and you'll see that actually there are very large alien giant beings in the landscape, and that kind of proves every single thing lie, because petrification doesn't take millions of years. You know, it doesn't. So the Earth is not billions of years. Geological principles are a lie. The cosmological principles are a lie. They have not told you the real historical perspective of time itself, and how that's based on the Great Cycle, you know, 3,600 years, and there was a matriarchal one world culture, which is where the pyramids connect into an energy grid that basically higher the level of consciousness on the Earth and stop demons coming in from the underworld. We don't have to go back to the Stone Age. We just need people to wake up and go, hang on, we've got alternatives that we can build, which have already been patented, that the government have took away from us. It's up to you, people. You know, you got to know the choices and know what you're fighting for. And unfortunately, the image I'm showing you now is a scene of mass genocide to come. A planned one at that. And if we don't come together now, we ain't got a chance, you know, to be self-sufficient in this country. Ever. So keep dreaming about Brexit when it's an illusion. And if you really want to be self-sufficient, you best know the answers. And at the minute, I'm sure the hell as you not, most of you do not. And the only reason you don't is because you've been lied to since you've been born. And you've been born into a corrupt world of sin, lies, deceit. You've been manipulated, schemed upon. It's Ponzi scheme after Ponzi scheme after Ponzi scheme. You're enslaved. It's time to break free, see truth, and know that you make a difference in this world, and that the more we do to push against their agenda, the better it will be for our civilization in the future. So please, share, like, and subscribe.